Hello, fellow saber enthusiasts. This is Leith Starkiller from the forums, and I'm here today to review two of my Ultra Sabers. I'm going to review my Aeon LE V3, and I'm also going to review my Archon V2.1. I bought this saber back in April of 2012, so about a year and a half ago. And this one I got for my birthday this summer. So it's been a long time, and I've been meaning to do one of these. I haven't gotten around to it, but I had to record some stuff for college applications, so I figured, why the heck not do a lightsaber review at the same time. But enough with that. I'm going to start off with this one, as it is the first saber that I got. By the way, the stand. Let me let you look at the stand. This is an awesome stand that my little brother made me for my birthday because he knew I loved Star Wars. So, he is the coolest ever. And it's not for sale. Alright, so this is the first saber. This is the Archon V3 LE. As you can see, it's got ingrained with the, along with just the regular silver, it's got these nice golden highlights all over the saber. So it's a very nice, it looks very, it's very strong feeling, very durable. It feels like a lightsaber. That was the first thing I noticed when I took this thing out of the box. It doesn't feel like a toy. It feels like a lightsaber. It's got some nice weight to it. And it looks very nice. The machining, again, this is a year and a half old. Even after that, it's got very, very few scuffs on it. I've got a couple on the pommel from when I dropped it on the concrete outside. Not my brightest moment. But it's a very durable saber. I have dropped this thing on concrete. I've thrown this thing into the air and dropped it. It doesn't break, which is a very good thing, because I like to be pretty rough with my toys. But anyway, this was a very good starting lightsaber for me to get, as it was an introduction for me to really more than just toy lightsabers. It was my first real lightsaber. I got it in Guardian Blue because I'd heard that was one of the brightest colors, and I've got a lot of lights on my basement. I'll turn those off in a minute. And it really is bright. And I got it with an Ultra Edge heavy grade blade because I'd heard that it worked the best with Guardian Blue. And I was very happy with it until I got a regular heavy grade blade. And then the difference in the way that the color turns up, I just absolutely fell in love with the way that this one, both the way that it's the silver, way that it looks out of battle, and the way that the color shows up on it. But the Ultra Edge does look very good. It comes all the way out to the end. So it makes this, I think it's about an inch is the thickness of the blade. It comes out for that whole inch for you. And it is very bright, but in my opinion, now after comparing it to this blade, it does wash the color out a bit. Both of these are heavy grade blades, and while they are a fair bit heavier, I've never actually held a mid grade blade before. I'm planning on buying one. But the heavy grade ones, they stand up very well in battle. You can smack these things, and this retention screw is not in all the way, which is why that was kind of vibrating a bit. But they are very, very durable. My friends and I have had very brutal lightsaber fights, and obviously we have not broken a single blade or lightsaber for that matter. So they are very durable. They are very good. So as an initial lightsaber, this one was honestly very perfect for me. I fell in love with the simplistic design. It has a fantastic grip. The grip that is on this saber, it fits two hands perfectly. It fits one hand perfectly wherever you want to hold this thing. It also fits backhand perfectly. It's just there's a million ways to hold this saber, and it's great. It's very comfortable. It's very lightweight. Is another thing that's very important because my friend bought a counselor not too long ago, and even without a soundboard, it is excruciatingly heavy saber. It gets hard to duel with it. You cannot one hand with it at all, with it having a heavy grade blade in there. And this one, while it's still hard to, is much easier with a heavy grade blade to be able to dual wield two lightsabers. And with the mid grade blade, I can see easily you dealing with this thing with no problem. I think the whole saber is only about 2 pounds because the combined package that had this one and then my friend's Dominic's V3, we bought them together, was about 4 pounds. So it's not too heavy, but since it's kind of spread out. But it does have nice weight to it again. And I only paid $120 for this thing, and that includes shipping. It also includes me having them install a cover tech wheel, and setting me a cover tech clip. So if you guys had, as a starting saber, wanted something under $100, you can easily go with this. Base saber was, I can't remember the exact price right now, but shipping for me was $15. There's an extra $10 for this. So I think that the base price of the hilt was $70, $75, I might be wrong. One of the two of those. So really, $100 saber. Not bad for something of this intense quality. I'm going to unscrew the pommel for you. The only thing that's really disappointing in the saber, now that I have another saber, is that the emitter does not unscrew, because that would lead to all sorts of fun possibilities with combining them. However, so here's the battery pack for you guys who are interested in this boring schematics of it. I really don't know too much about the electrical work in there, but I mean, I've never had any problems with it. So, I think it's perfectly fine. Anyway, that is the Aeon LED V3 for you. Very good hilt, very good starting hilt to buy. And I still occasionally use it. I still use it when I'm dual wielding, and I still use it for a couple photo shots. I use it for, it's a great stunt saber. It's a great saber to have and not have to be sound with. I honestly recommend not getting sound with this unless you truly love the design. I personally would prefer to get sound with a nicer hilt, just one that's more based on the ones in the movies or just a more intense design that Ultra Sabers itself has created. But for a very simplistic saber that's good for dueling with, and a stunt saber and a first saber, this is fantastic. I'm going to stop rambling. Forgive me, this is the first review I've ever done, so if it sucks, I apologize. This is my beauty right here. This is the Archon V2.1, and it is a gorgeous saber. This thing is absolutely beautiful. It's wonderful. It's based off of, obviously, kind of a combination between Luke Episode 6 as well as Obi-Wan Episode 3. It's got Luke's saber up here is bronze, and Obi-Wan's is gold, and this one's black, so it's slightly different. And then this one is Obi-Wan's pommel, because Luke's pommel is just pure silver. And then they both obviously have the activation boxes. Unfortunately, they couldn't put that, they don't have that on the saber. I think you can specially request for it to be, but I did not. And the neck, my only disappointment with the saber is that the neck is not thinner, and it's really impossible for them to have made it thinner because the blade goes all the way through for the durability. But I just love the thin neck appearance, and it really is, once up close, it is a very nice thin neck, and it's very good for gripping on. I got it in Council Green because I've always wanted a green saber. It's absolutely fantastic. It's very loud. You can change the sound fonts. I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. But it's very loud, and I think it might be a bit brighter, but my batteries are dying. I got it with flash and flash to flash and silver. Because I was a fan of the possibilities of the color discs and changing the flash. I also got it with the silver AV switch, which looks very nice on the saber. And then it's really hard for them to pick up green tint on a camera, unfortunately. But yeah, it's not happening, unfortunately. But it is a pure green. It's very similar to like Yoda's. Is what the Counselor green looks like. It's very similar to Yoda's green in Attack of the Clones or Return of the Jedi. So it's a very good color. I really apologize that my camera's not picking up on it very well. I probably didn't pick up on the blue one either, but I didn't really check. But yeah, this is a fantastic saber. This one comes apart into 4 pieces. You've got the pommel right here. I'm going to unscrew for you. Right here. It's a very nice pommel. This is one of the nicest looking lightsaber pommels, in my opinion. It is my favorite lightsaber pommel. I wouldn't want it on either saber. The body of this thing is actually surprisingly small. All the electronics are held in this tiny little hilt, which is probably no more than 8 inches, 7 inches long. So it's very small, which I like. Very cool. You got the LED inside right there. Counselor Green LED. I got it with the quick disconnects. So as soon as I upload this video, actually, and turn on my points, I'm going to be buying myself a Sentinel Yellow LED because I've always been a fan of yellow lightsabers, and the color discs obviously can't change green to yellow, and I want a yellow lightsaber. Fair enough. And then you've got these 2 parts right here with the blade. You've got the neck, and then you've got, I'm not taking those apart. You've got the neck, and then you've got the emitter itself. The neck leads to a bunch of fun experiments. You can actually take the top of this saber, unscrew the emitter, screw this into the bottom of the Aeon is what I do a lot. And then I've got a 2-foot long saber. Sound comes out the bottom. That's Guardian Blue. It doesn't flash, but it's still pretty freaking awesome. And it's a beast to wield. It feels very powerful. Yeah, I'm gonna put this back together. Also, fun story. This is the electronics. Well, there's a lot in here. I feel like they are a very good quality because I gave it to one of my friends to hold without this thing on, without the neck on, and she shook it to get the flash, and the LED came flying out. Part of it came apart, or part of the quick disconnects broke off. Didn't break off, but came apart. It was very forcefully thrown off, but I put it together and it worked perfectly fine. So, kudos to the electricianists at Ultra Sabers because they do a very good job. My only problem that I've ever had with the saber is that it's very hard to get. We used to be very hard to get the battery pack out. Now it's quite easy. And you see the speaker, the soundboard, the 2 batteries right there. And I actually had to send it back in because I could not get the battery pack of the saber out to save my life. I looked up all the videos on the saber forums, took the blade out, I banged it against the chair with the towel on it, banged it against my hand. 50 times I was banging it, and I was afraid I was going to break the soundboard. And so I eventually had to send it back into Ultra Sabers, and what they ended up doing is shaving off part of around the speaker for me. So now it comes out easier. And I did have to pay shipping to send it back, which was a bit disappointing, but they also sent me another pair of batteries. So that kind of made up for it. Although, unfortunately, and here's a quick question for you electronics people. The batteries on on one of the pairs, I'm not sure which one, the one that I got first or the one that they sent me, one of them does not work well at all. I have not tested the individual batteries, but this is the perfect one. I can bang this into other lightsabers and it works perfectly fine. But the other set of batteries, if I put it in the saber, and I turn it on, it shorts out literally 1 to 5 seconds later. And if you bang it against something, it definitely shorts out. It just stops working. Then the soundboard might instantly come back on. It'll make the obsidian sound and come back on. Or it'll just stay off and I'll take the batteries out, put it back in, it'll come on. But it's very, I don't know. So I don't know if that's a problem with the batteries itself, or it's obviously a problem with the batteries. I don't know if any of you electricianists have any tips for me on how I can fix that, if there is a fix. But either way, I'm going to turn the lights off real fast so you guys can see these without the lights on. Okay, so there's just a tiny bit of light over there. Here is the Archon V2.1. It is very bright. There's that flash silver for you. Here's, by the way, you can do this as well for clash sequences. Very cool. And then here's the Aeon. Also very, very bright. It looks very good. Very fun to consider. Anyway, I went to wrap up what has probably been the longest and most boring lightsaber review you've ever watched because I've never done one before, so I really apologize about that. Oh yeah, one last thing. I bought this with a sale, so this one was $320 after shipping and after the sale prices, but not too bad a price. It was my birthday present, so I paid half of it. But either way, thank you guys for enduring my long, monotonous, boring voice, and thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.